Okay, so I literally was about to let y'all just watch some collard greens get made on a YouTube video, but it didn't work out like I wanted it to. So you can look at the ceiling. Um, I'm just sitting here thinking about. Well, my son just got done doing his third test for. It was to help me continue to meet the required legal requirements for homeschooling. So we three down, one more to go. Um, my oldest son had to do four. My youngest son had to do two. And I'm just sitting here thinking about what took place over 2020 last year. I guess I need to think about even 2019, like kind of leading up to it too, because it goes back to the day when their dad was sitting across the street up under his so-called aunt. She didn't know he using her for one thing, and then he had asked me for help. So he trying to make something work on his end on both, with both of us. Well, regarding both of us, I don't say with because it ain't no with. It's for him. And and he was just, he was going back and forth, and he just said again. He said, "You're not untouchable." He said that, and the girl had said that first, and I don't know who came up with it, but amongst them two, that's, I guess I'm sure it was him because he don't want to been around me. Like I didn't know this girl from from anybody, from a stranger in the street before, he got involved. And again, that I know of anyway. Like sometimes your parents done had you around people when you was younger, and you just don't remember them, don't know what, I don't think I ever been around this girl, especially given the town or whatever that she lived in. Uh, yeah, but never heard her name, never none of that. Didn't and don't care, honey. And at this point, definitely tired of hearing her name because I was watching a YouTuber that had her same name last night. That just, I was interested in what the lady had to talk about. And usually YouTubers don't really say their own name, but it got to a point where she spoke something about her own name, and I was reminded that I'm watching somebody with the same name as this person, and it like irritated me. And I had got tired of seeing that name in other places before that. But so from 2019, he was like, "Yeah, you're not untouchable," and things like that. And I'm like, and then it's like, why do you even feel like that? Um, and if somebody is, this is the thing, if somebody is avoiding harm and danger and stuff happening to them, why don't you just take heed to like, dang, well, how you doing that? And you know what I'm saying? But it was just, now I got something to prove. And so I was like, okay. And so, 2019, I, I didn't go looking for it, but the address came to me. I let it be known that I had this address of where he was. That was September when we was going back and forth. It was October when I got the address. Then it was November when people were reaching out to me, asking me about Christmas for my kids and stuff like that. And I was like, no, thank you, I'm good. It's just because it's always too many strings and too much stuff attached. I'm glad that I already been through it with other people, and in particularly older people who gave gifts and stuff to me and my kids, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It still had some strings attached. It wasn't freely given. It was something else with it. So, and November is when I responded. November 2019, I responded, I don't know who you think you are. I don't really care. You need to go do something with yourself. Whatever you and him got going on, that don't have nothing to do with me. Do not try to connect yourself to me. Do not, basically, wherever you feel like you're attached, detach. Detach, and you know me, like, go ahead and self destruct. Because I don't, and I guess that's a more nice sounding way of saying kill yourself. Like, and I don't like to use that phrase or anything like that, but when you coming after me and coming for me because somebody else did something to you and I don't know none of the details, nothing that's going on, don't bother with me, honey. Uh, And so that was said then. It had already been said or something by her. Um, I think in 2018. So again, you picking up when she first reached out. Like you're picking up some spirit of somebody who's feeling some type of way. And this the thing. God knows the root of it. I'm doing something. What is it? Okay, you're gonna have to wait. I'll hug you in a little while. I'll come in there, or I'll tell you to come back in here in a little while. Do your work. Okay, so anyway, I mean, yeah, my son is sweet like that, but I can't do it right now because I gotta stay focused. I have to talk to him in a little while, and he will come and hug me and hug me and check on me so many times, and I'm grateful. That I'm grateful for. But you know, it really shouldn't be showing up necessarily in my son. It should have been in older people, some of my peers, and even older. You know, to have more of a care and a healthy care and a concern. But right now, I do thank God for His healthy care and concern, and I hope He, you know, that remains regarding me and just regarding others, but not to His detriment at all. So anyway, yeah, not to His detriment. It's somebody else's detriment because he's a nice person and he's a good person and stuff like that. And other people, anyway, that's deep. It's too much. So that was said in 2018, and it was said again. It was repeated again in 2019, and I just told myself, I said it's not going to be repeated a third time. I don't even care what happened and transpired and where people even think they touched me during. It's just not going to be said a third time. Period. And so, um, 2019. So 2020 came. I, I just spoke out that some household needed to be condemned. Not the people, but the household needed to be condemned. And everything I know, my house was at least appearing like it was looking on the way to condemnation. Water got cut off and was off for a while, and my grandma, of course, she was still, had some bit of help. She was living in a different place, and she allowed us to come over there and take a shower. She thought she was going to come and turn it on for us and everything. And I'm glad that she did. And she was trying to resolve my stuff for me. And I'm glad that she didn't come and turn it on because that would have been a whole nother issue. They would have known that knew that somebody had turned it on and, get charged for that or get in some kind of trouble. And but God had made a way where water was coming out of clean water was coming out of something, and that was that. And even the um the lady who was turning the water, who's so called in charge of the water or whatever, she was like, "What did y'all do? What did?" She was just like so intrigued by how we washed and this, that, and the third, what was going on, and I couldn't tell her, "Oh, water's coming out of a place in my house or whatever." I mean, I could have, but I didn't choose to tell her that. And I was like, "Well, we got relatives around here, uh, where we can go handle our business done, and we didn't go over there often at all. We only like went over there one time, but I'm like, you think that we don't? And I guess this is a white lady, and I guess she think we didn't have nobody, and I mean, to an extent, we didn't." But I know push came to shove. If I needed to go take a shower somewhere, I, you know, it could happen. But of course, I wasn't trying to get nobody in my business, so I left it at that. I had a dream too about water and water being turned off, water being turned on. It got turned back um, on my daughter's dad's birthday. I didn't even realize, but she turned it on. That was the first time I took a shower, should I say? I don't know when it got turned on, but she turned it on before the payment and stuff was made. So that was a blessing. I mean, for one, it just lets you know how easily they can turn something on and off. And again, long some people is holding themselves accountable to somebody. The ones that shut you on and off, whatever it is, power, water, whatever, as long as they holding themselves accountable as well. or being held accountable to, I can't even say hold themselves accountable, but being held accountable to some kind of higher standard, or, having, oh, excuse me, having to answer. Oh, Lord, having to answer to somebody. And so, yeah, so that happened. And that's when God was just letting me know, okay, you need to watch your mouth. Um, so that was just a feeling. I didn't say, oh, well, I guess I did say that helped me to be condemned, or at least taught it or whatever. And that's when God was letting me know, better watch your mouth, watch your tongue, because it just might be you. And so I'm like, oh, dang. And another thing, going into 2019, I had found out the address and stuff like that, but I also found out, this girl had charges and stuff against her and stuff like that. And and of course, I don't know how she got them, but to me, it seemed like she it's rightfully so. And I had said in his inbox or whatever, I was like, yeah, y'all out here catching charges, and that's all I said. Y'all focus on not trying to catch charges or whatever, being grown, being in your 30s and stuff like that. And next thing I know, God allowed for a situation where it was more charges. I mean, I already been in this system or whatever anyway. That don't make it okay, period. But prior to his deceased mom pressing charges on me in 2017, I didn't get in no kind of trouble. I did almost get wrapped up in something with a noise ordinance violation. Again, that was being associated with somebody and trying to do something what I thought was nice for somebody, that I shouldn't have did. And at this point in time, I don't need to be around that person at all. Um, so before that, yeah, I hadn't gotten in no kind of trouble. And before the last time that I got in trouble, which was, I think, when around the time I was pregnant with my daughter or something like that, or so-called got in trouble, quote unquote trouble, it was regarding my daughter's dad, and it was being around him and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say it was him, of course, because I even got exposed to stuff when I was. I'm gonna just put it like this: basically, once I started having sex, definitely trouble and stuff started trying to come my way. So if it was who I was having sex with or whatever, I'm saying, could be the issue, concern, whatever, then that's what it is. Unless you're taking on some stuff, when you lay down with this person. Because I was 15 when I started getting in trouble and stuff. 15, whatever the case may be. And yeah, so I just been around criminal people and criminal minded people for so long, or at least people that's been in environments where criminal behavior goes on, and it's probably their norm, but it wasn't normal to me. It was like, it was still a thing that was like shocking. So anyway, I said that or whatever in his inbox to him. I don't know if she read it or whatever. I was like, y'all need to focus on not getting charges and stuff like that, catching charges. And then next thing I know, God allowed for a situation. I prayed and asked God for resolve or something, and He allowed for a situation, a circumstance to arise to where charges. This is false charges. It wasn't the whole truth brought against my name. And so it was like, you said that, and now this is what's coming back to you. And at least this is seeming, it's very convincing that this is what the enemy did. Like sometimes the enemy can try to mirror what God is doing or mimic what God is doing, and it almost looked like, you know, this the genuine one. But I'm gonna just say this again, it just appeared that, okay, I said something like that, and then next thing you know, it's happening to me. So it's almost like I'm taking on the stuff that she's dealing with, um, whatever is really going on. I'm taking it on or whatever. And it's, to me, I don't feel like it's right because I don't care for this girl. I don't like her. I didn't sign up for that. This is something that he signed up for. So won't you take on that stuff? That's what you care for this person or whatever. You take that on. But anyway. I knew I had prayed and I knew, I had gotten a job that year. It's definitely not. It wasn't by chance. It was orchestrated because I seen God just do it, like the way He did it, the person He used, and all that. I was going to jury duty that year, and I was, of course, I had just started homeschooling. Well, 2019, I started homeschooling going into 2020, and that's when all this stuff happened. Um, so yeah, it was just crazy. It was different. Um, so yeah, she brought the false charges and stuff against my name, and it got me to thinking like she brought the false charges, but nothing didn't really happen with that until I did something. And for me, what I did, I thought that I'm not gonna sit here and say that I thought it was okay with God, because I didn't. I'm not, what I'm saying? I'm not in denial. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to sit here in front. Now, what I don't know, I don't know. What I do know, I do know. But I knew that, what I'm saying? That's not nothing that really pleased God. It was definitely something that was going to make me feel better or whatever, at least for the moment. And that's when the trouble and pretty much trauma, like, tried to start and enter. So it wasn't really even what she did. But one thing I could say is that God is still in the midst. God was still in the midst. And I know that God can even allow your enemies to believe that they did something to you or they caused something to you when it was a situation that He had already went ahead in. And yeah, they may have like tried to set it up, but He was already ahead and He was in it with you. And you going through something or whatever. And that's just the way I see it, because I'm the one that was in it. And what I'm saying. So that happened, and that's when it seemed like definitely a door was open where the enemy, came in. But so that was November of last year. But then I look back September, where I seen that my daughter was doing certain stuff. So that was, to me, it was opening up a door. I just didn't, that part I don't really understand. Then there was, of course, February of that year, where I took her to the mall to meet up with her dad. It was February 13th or 12th, something like that to be exact. And then before that, 2019, of course, he came trying to get him, trying to, he might have been trying to get in the door, but he was definitely coming over here to start something with me, should I say. Um, but yeah, it's just different stuff that transpired. And of course, this is the year that I'm 33 years old. I had no clue that, what I'm saying, I'm finna go through some traumatizing stuff like that or whatever. And it was only mainly one major traumatizing, but it was, I ain't gonna sit here in front. All throughout that year, it was still some stuff that was occurring that was trying to bring me down. Of course, keep me tied to a system and stuff like that. And so that was that. But so November it happened, and November was the month, of course, 2019, where she caught herself reaching out, trying to seem like she's doing a nice gesture, and I guess especially, I'm not gonna say in front of him, but I don't know, for whatever reason, caught herself trying to reach out and still trying to so-called act like she's trying to get close to me. And this is my thing. In 2018, I told you to leave me alone. Do not bother with me. I stopped saying anything to you just as quick as it came. So there's no reason for you to even try to keep on. And and then into 2020, she was a mouthpiece telling him to say certain stuff to me and all that. And of course, because she paid some money on his behalf and all that other stuff with her. That's not my problem. Like, however you get the money, when I know that I gave opportunities for you to work for it in a legit way, well, I didn't give, but I helped for opportunities for him to work for it in a legit way. If he decided that he wanted to go get it in an illegit way, and his mama is doing, his mama and his daddy, really, to be honest, his daddy just did it at more of a distance. His mama did it more hands on. Um, and you chose that, then hey, and you had plenty of opportunities before that, you didn't have to live like that or choose that, then whatever. So she felt like she was doing something, and I guess anybody that's connected to him owe her something or owe. Honey, I don't, cause she told me flat out, you should be thankful. I said to myself, but I also said to her, I said, honey, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. You're not understanding. That's what you're not getting. So something about her has something wicked with it, and I don't, what I'm saying? I can see it, but at the same time, I don't know the depths because I ain't trying to find out. But I knew when she reached out to me on his mama's birthday in 2018, his dead mama's birthday, uh, you dabbling in some crazy stuff, and ain't no telling. I'm not gonna judge her or misjudge her or nothing like that, but I'm gonna just say whatever it is, honey. I know it's something disgusting, so because it for you to pick it up with somebody dead or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's just it's diabolical, and I leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, there's things that I can think that it could be. It could be something with necromancy, like you did something with somebody dead, or whether that's sleep with somebody that's dead, or I don't know. I don't really necessarily want to find out, but if I hear about it and somebody tell me, oh, she did this, then I'd be like, oh, now it makes sense or whatever. But it makes enough sense for me to now for me to know I don't want no parts of that, and I told him I didn't want no parts or whatever. And I even showed him. And it was almost like my hand was forced. Like, no, this is something you gotta do. And that's what I did feel like, oh, might have to get my hands dirty. And so, that was that year or whatever. Um, I definitely try to steer clear of that. I try to keep my hands clean. I try to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Um, what else happened in 2020? Of course, okay, so November came and like I said, I did what I did, but prior to that, it was like they was trying to pull at me and stuff, but I didn't. I don't want to say take the bait, but I was pretty much untouchable, and I'm not saying that I'm not now, but you know what I'm saying. It was just untouchable. It's only if I wanted to be touched or whatever, and so yeah, I pretty much allowed myself to be touched in some kind of way, and that was that. And so, of course, going into December, from November 30th or whatever, and going on into December, that's when the traumatizing stuff happened regarding the false charges and all that. And even with that situation, when I went up there, I was going back out the door and getting ready to go home, but that's when they just scooped me up pretty much. I mean, it showed me how easily somebody can kidnap you and scoop you up and this and the third, remove you and keep you from going back to the place where you came from. And of course, it became a whole hostage situation. So to me, that's like indications of whatever is going on with him. It's hostage, you held hostage, this and the third. But it'd be so funny because it seemed like you have a way to escape. See, with me, I didn't have no way to escape. They put me in a detaining cell. I can't get out of that. They put me in, of course, once you go to jail, you're in a jail cell. They put me in a suicide watch cell or whatever. You can't get out of that. Them doors open by when they press the button. I mean, God can open the doors, which He did for me, but I myself could not physically get out of that. But to me, I be feeling like with my daughter, I'm like, girl, you can just leave. You're not behind no jail cell. But that spiritual type of bondage type stuff. And then him, like you could have just left and left that whole thing alone, not engaged. But either something you like it or either it's got a strong hold on you some type of way. And again, I go back to all I can. I can't blame everything on the mom, but that's what it seemed to me. She did that. She got you entangled in that, and now she's gone. She got you entangled in something, and then she gone. She ain't here to help you out or get you out of whatever. And so I guess you pulled for what you, the next best one or whatever. And even though you connected to two other females, you ain't pulling at them. Well, that I know of. I don't know. But when you pulled at me, you pulling and tugging hard. And it's like, no, I'm goody. Because I didn't get you in that the first time. I didn't get you in that the first time we went out and had a baby on me, and I didn't get you in that the second time, and I'm not gonna do it. Because you ain't gonna do nothing but pull me in and pull me down. And that's worse, and I just can't do it. So I left it at that, and yeah, that's what's on my mind today. Um, it still does affect me and my children in some type of way because he has not been around and like he had never been like that. And again, even with his first daughter, he never stopped engaging with his daughter to come over here and have kids with me or anything. So that's when I started to think something ain't right, something is wrong or whatever. But you know what? Maybe it could be something is right, and it's just I don't know about to start itching like that's a lie, but I don't know. Okay, whatever it is, whether it's right, wrong, or whatever, God knows the details, and leave it at that. But I started feeling like, oh, that ain't like him to not bother with me, get on my nerves or whatever. And of course, in passing, he see the kids. I ain't even gonna lie, he did not prioritize our kids. He prioritized bothering me, harassing me, getting on my nerves, and the kids was uh after and in between thought. I'm not gonna say he didn't think about them at all, but I mean, I had to so him go in there, check on them, go in there and look at them. He was too busy trying to be up under me. I was loving it. I want you to. That's what you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? For what I believe that we was. I was wanted to say are, but yeah, yeah, you're supposed to. Because the Bible say you need to leave and cleave. And so, and I said that in front of both of his parents, and I think they both got upset. And his mama said that's right or whatever. They both still felt the type of way and got upset. And I'm just like, honey, I'm just saying what the words say. But yeah. And then he went on at one point in time was like, we could have did something more suitable and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I told you, I give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's do it. And I gave you no reason really for us not to do anything more suitable, but he chose not. And see, when I start talking like that and talking about that, it almost breaks my heart because it's like we were so close, yet still so far. And I guess I should have took heed when he said it's gonna remain distorted. Like I just thought he was playing around. I thought it was a joke. I thought, you know what I'm saying? But and some of his stuff was jokes and playful or so-called playful, but some of that stuff he just really meant. Like, you know, no, I'm not playing. And even like my daughter's dad said one time, y'all be laughing, but I be serious. Like, you be thinking it's funny. And that's how, for people with me, oh, girl, you crazy. I'm like, no, I'm serious, honey. I'm not playing around about that. Like, but I make it clear. They don't really make it clear. See, they different. Where I'm going to make it clear, like, no, I don't like you. I'm not playing with you. I mean, that's not to be for me to be mean and like I'm gonna jump on you, but that's like to let you know. Don't come bothering me. Don't come near me because what can happen, what could occur is something crazy. I'm not trying to be friendly with you or I'm saying, whatever it is that comes out my mouth at the time that I'm trying to tell you the truth about stuff. And so yeah, it was other times he was like, I tried to give him a hug and he was like, no, we ain't cool. And I'm like, what? And but the thing about it is, he wasn't cool with me because of whatever my daughter's dad made him feel. And it's like you gonna let a whole nother man, a whole nother dude, make you feel inadequate. Like, and I thought highly of him at some points in times. I admired him, but it all boiled down to whatever my daughter's dad thought about him. I'm sitting here like, baby, you're not in competition with him. Don't. I want to tell. Well, I try to tell him, don't feed into that. But I guess he did that, or whatever else anybody else had to say. And I'm just like, can you focus on what I'm telling you? Definitely can't. I should have did more telling him. Focus on what God is saying to you, not what that person's saying to you. But when he would feed into stuff, it would almost have me feeding into it and about convince me, oh, this is what it is. And so that's when we got lost, or whatever the case. And I feel like just remained lost and couldn't find our way back. I don't feel like I was ever, saying that off track, but he might sing a different tune. So I say that and leave it at that. But yeah, for whatever reason, this girl's name keep even coming up, and it irritates. You know, since I could hear it before, and then it'll irritate me. But it's the times when it starts to irritate me, and it's like, oh no. And I remember when Oh, but old girl, when he had the other baby, that thing deeply irritated me every time. Even to this day, if I see that name, I'll be like, this is more than cringe. But this girl, this she didn't really. It's she only irritate me. Of course, when you regard talking about my kids and stuff like that, and thinking you're trying to replace me as their mom or whatever, and just replace me as a whole. This woman is, you know what I'm saying? But irritating me for real. Like when it starts irritating me to my soul, I'll be like, mm-mm. When I don't want to say certain words or phrases 'cause I feel like she said it, or when I don't want to. And again, it just goes back to that name. I don't even want to hear that name. Hear that name, see that name, nothing like that. And yeah, it just be something. But God ain't speaking to me about her, and really, well, I'm not gonna say he's not. I see little stuff, but as far as in my dreams, I haven't had no dreams and stuff about her. But I was having some dreams that had stuff to do with her. Last year, so 2020, and maybe even 2019 too. But God ain't showed me nothing that is satisfying me. Like before, I was beating her tail. It was dreams where he showed me I was beating her up and stuff like that. And it might have been times even where she kind of got at me or whatever and tried to get the upper hand, but I was whipping her tail. And that just lets me know, the power that I operate in or whatever, but, not, or whatever, excuse me, but the power that I operate in is from the Lord, and it's just more powerful than your enemies. And so, you know, encouraged me to keep at that. I can't even do that in my own strength. He has to give it to me and he empowers me, but it's something. But yeah, I'm irritated with the name. Like I said, I don't, even with what I went through, and you know what I'm saying? She didn't make me go through it, but tried to play around or whatever. And again, it appears to her that, I'm sure it appears to her and him that I called that they caused it or whatever, because it got sent out of that town or whatever, for why I ended up in that town anyway. But she who laughs last. I'm just playing. I don't want to go there. Um, I just say, you know, I'm just glad today I'm at peace and God got me in my right mind. And we about a month or so shy of that time last year, and I have did some deep cleaning and some type surgery on me and stuff like that and all that. You know what I'm saying? And again, even with my daughter not in the household, man, I'm telling you, I love my daughter. I desire my daughter. I want her around me. It's just been like 9, 10 months now. But the peace that I had, I wouldn't trade my peace for my, when somebody said, oh, you want to give up your peace for your daughter to come home? It would be really tough for me not, you know what I'm saying, to choose that, but I choose peace. Peace is good. I want the peace of God, excuse me. Let me make it clear. Not just the absence of, certain stuff, violence or whatever. Now, please keep violence and stuff away from me and all that abuse. But God's peace, where you have peace with what you're doing. Like even on that day when I was going up to that courthouse, I had peace. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know that it was going to keep me, but I had peace. Even in the detainment cell, peace. You know what I'm saying? That was upsetting, but peace. Even in the jail cell, peace. You know what I'm saying? Just wherever I went, it was God, His presence with me. So that was good. Not just with me. He was already there ahead of me. Operating in other people. Somebody had already welcomed God's presence there. So I just joined in. But I would love for her to be able to return and it be peaceful and stuff like that. So, and even being able to, I don't just want to talk on the phone to my child. Period. I'm not that parent that don't want to interact with my child. So I don't have a problem with that. So maybe God can give me definitely a miracle regarding that this year, and a breakthrough, I guess you call it. But I don't be feeling like I need a breakthrough. That's the thing. I don't have to know that I need one or feel like I need one to actually need one. But, But yeah, so it was a lot of that stuff that they, with that whole thing, they didn't cause, but you know, that's what happened with what they sent out, should I say. Like initiated and tried to stir up or whatever. It's like, wow, you know. And along with again my own behavior and even some of the behavior that my daughter was exhibiting while she was here. So you know, there's a lot of people that just took part in opening the door to the enemy, and he wasn't playing. He came to try to tear some stuff up. He come in still kill and destroy, and you know, that's that. Okay, and that was that. And so anyway, it's at 35 minutes, which I'm 34 years old, and yeah, I want to turn 35, and 36, and 37. Yeah, I can keep on going as long as God will have me, but the rate I'm going with this chocolate I be eating and stuff like that, stuff that I be doing, I be trying to incorporate my fruit, but I be getting out of hand. But that's about it. I'm done with this video for now.